Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. One of the audiences on this channel, he mentioned something very interesting. Okay, very interesting. And once I read that comment, I'm like, wow, man, he hit it right on the target. And I'm like, I should be talking about it. So what did he say? Remember, I showed you. Okay, let's take a look at the clip. Okay, then we will inshallah continue.
Tell us how much you paid in federal income taxes in 2016 and 2017.
Millions of dollars.
You paid millions of dollars?
Millions of dollars,
So
yes.
not 750.
Millions of dollars, and you'll get to see it. And you'll get to see it. But let me just tell you. But let me just tell you. But let me just tell you. Chris, let me just tell you something.
In this video, what do you see? Joe Biden is talking about inshallah, using Arabic word, right? Inshallah. Before we move on, if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing, because we talk about the coming of the Mahdi, Dajjal, Ya'juj and Ma'juj, end of time, the fitan of the end of time, Akhirul Zaman. So again, if you're new here, consider subscribing. This person, he was saying, he was actually quoting the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he said that, look, brother, when Ya'juj and Ma'juj, okay, they will be here, Gog and Magog, they will also use the word inshallah. I'm like, you are spot on. Like, subhanallah, that's so true, because the hadith clearly said, Rasulullah said, wailul lil Arab. He said, woe to the Arab when a hole of the Ya'juj and Ma'juj is open like this. He pointed with his thumb, with his index finger. And he said, a open like this, a hole like this has been opened, and the Arab are not even aware of it. The other narration, it says, Ya'juj and Ma'juj, they will dig the hole, they will go back, come back, and they will see it was sealed even, more strongly than it was sealed before. So the hole, Allah Azza wa Jal will put the barrier even stronger. Every time they would try to put a hole and they will almost see the sun rays, Allah will cover it up with a strong covering. So every day this is going to continue on and on and on. Every single day they will go and dig and come back, and they will see the hole is covered. And one day they will say, the guy, they have a leader. The hadith clearly indicates that Ya'juj and Ma'juj will have a leader. Can you believe it? So Rasulullah said, the leader who is in charge of that digging, of the hole, coming out of it, this guy, he will say, we will come back, dig it again, inshallah, right? And lo and behold, Allah Azza wa Jal will allow them to come out, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he mentioned in the Quran, حَتَّى إِذَا فُتِحَتْ يَعْجُوزُ وَمَعْجُوزُ وَهُمْ مِنْ كُلِّ حَدَبٍ يَنْسِلُونَ. Subhanallah. That at hatta iza, until Ya'juj and Ma'juj will come out, futihat abwaba, and they will min kulli hadabi yansilun. They will be coming from every elevation. There will be a descent. So they will be swooping on from all mounts. So they will come out, and the reason is because they said inshallah. Now the question is, so now that we talk about the hadith, inshallah, you can find out more about the hadith from Sahih al-Bukhari, I believe it is also narrated. But since we talk about this hadith, so the hadith talks about inshallah, saying the word inshallah, and now you have a guy who out of nowhere said the word inshallah. Not only that, he also quoted a hadith before. I'm talking about Joe Biden. He quoted a hadith before, and he said that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said that if you see an evil, remove it with your hand, if you cannot with your tongue, if you cannot at least in your heart. And I was shocked to see him quoting hadith. But today, I should say last night, when he said inshallah, when Donald Trump said, I will reveal my documents about the tax return, he said when? Inshallah. So I was like, man, when I read the comment, I was like, man, he is so true. This guy out of nowhere is saying inshallah. What does it mean? It doesn't mean anything in the sense that Ya'juj and Ma'juj will come out because of what he said, but take a look at the strength, the power, and the connotation of this one single word. that was uttered by the Prophet ﷺ 1400 years ago to show how these two nations, Ya'juj and Ma'juj, will come out. Just because of the virtue of one word, Allah Azza wa Jal will open the gate for them to come out. And this exact same word is being used after 1400 years from a guy who is not a Muslim, who never heard about Islam, who never studied Islam, who never who never went to a mosque to pray, who never bowed down to Allah Azza wa Jal, who never prayed a single rak'ah, saying the exact same word. And dear one sister, no, I'm not saying because he said it is directly related with the hadith. I'm not saying that. Don't quote me wrong. But think about the impact. Think about how coincidental this thing is, right? It is just amazing. It's just crazy. Rasulullah also, he mentioned about the end of time. When we talk about this debate, the Prophet he talked about years of treachery, right? And I mentioned this in my other videos, where you will have leaders coming one after another, like tons of them, many of them, and all of these leaders will be worshipped, they will be followed, they will be believed, when these are all what? Liars. The Prophet he said, يُصَدَّقُ فِيهَا الْكَذِبُ وَيُكَذَّبُ فِيهَا الصَّادِقُ. A day will come after when this treachery will be going on for years, when the Sadiqu, the guy who is speaking the truth, will be regarded as a liar. If you take a look at our leaders and the way we are living right now, not just the leaders, even normal human beings, citizen, if you are not powerful, if you are not rich, if you do not support a ideology, basically means you have zero credibility. Whether you say or speak the truth, whether you bring evidence, whether you show the whole world to support your evidences, doesn't matter. Simply because you did not stand up for an ideology, people will consider your words to be the word of a liar. You can bring revelation, even if you bring the Quran right now from the sky, right now, people will still not believe you. That's basically what the hadith is talking about. Because why? Because you are not standing up for those evil ideologies. And when we talk about the ideology, basically what I mean is that white supremacists and things like that. I'm not going to go in more in details, but you get the point. So the Prophet said that this will happen before the end of time. And since we talk about the Ya'juj and Ma'juj, they will be coming out. They will say inshallah. And at the same time, we are living at a time when nobody can really be trusted. Even if somebody is speaking the truth, you will consider him as liar. If you have, on the other hand, somebody who is a religious person, right? He's speaking the truth. He's saying all the good things. But because he doesn't stand up for you, you will think he's a liar. Because he stands up for who? For Allah Azza wa Jal. In other words, religious people in the end of time will not be trusted. Okay? If you stick to the book of Allah and you bring hadith and Quran, people will believe the guy who brings the quotation of an extremist leader, or they will believe human sayings, they will believe their lying leader. But the guy who is bringing the Quran and Hadith will not be believed at all. And this is exactly how you turn the table upside down, right? This is how exactly the situation will be, dear brothers and sisters. It's going to be very, very hard. But again, if you take a look at what Joe Biden said, inshallah, and if you compare that what the hadith said, the Ya'juj and Ma'juj. Now I'm not going to say that the Americans are Ya'juj and the Chinese are Ma'juj. I'm not going to say that. This is just not acceptable. They live somewhere in the world at a high place. Okay, this is my understanding. Because the Quran says, min kulli hadabi yansilun, they will be descending. So my understanding is that they're living at a very high place, could be a mountain, and of course the Quran mentioned about that. But if you say that Ya'juj and Ma'juj are going to be not human being, they are, or some people say, as I said, Chinese or American, that's not true. These people live on the top of a mountain somewhere in this world, we do not know. Maybe their numbers are growing, human beings were not able to go there, because remember, Allah Azza wa Jal, He can perform miracle. He can cover a small mountain filled with Ya'juj and Ma'juj, or a big mountain, gigantic mountain filled with Ya'juj and Ma'juj, huge population, billions of them. And yet, when human being will go there, they will not see it. Can Allah do that? Of course. Of course. Remember, Jibreel alayhi salam, when he came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he appeared in the horizon. Nobody saw him except who? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So if Ya'juj and Ma'juj, even if we go close to them, even if we find them and say, oh, I'm very, very close according to all the description, you will still not be able to see it, because Allah Azza wa Jal will not let you see it. He will let them out. Allah Azza wa Jal will let them out whenever He wants. So we believe in miracles that Allah can perform, very easy for Him, kun fayakun, and we need to leave it that. So brothers and sisters, again, if you're new to this channel, like this video, if you did, share this video, and I'll see you soon again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.